Tired of Canada's rising Islamophobia, this Toronto family is leaving the country. Hello dear, welcome to my Allison News channel. On my channel, you will find viral update news. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. It's no longer livable or a desirable place to be, at least not like it used to be, the popular Salehs of YouTube say. For Toronto couple Sanaa and Saleh, the itch to move out of Canada with their 3 young children somewhere all the way across the world has been growing over the years, but it's become impossible to ignore since the latest Israel-Palestine conflict began in October 2023. The couple, who are Muslim, have been victims of Islamophobia before, but they say it has only gotten worse in the past 7 months. Explaining the moment they knew they had to leave, Sanaa recalls a November incident. We were on the way with our young children to a Palestine protest, and an older white woman walked past us and said, "You are all terrorists." Our kids took notice, and we had to explain to them that she did not know any better, and we were simply protesting for human rights, which is something they should take pride in. Canada has a serious underlying racism problem, says Will, adding that they officially decided to make the move in November, just after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau reaffirmed Canada's long-standing support for Israel. That is when we looked at each other and said, we need to go. Within a few months, we were all booked and ready to leave. It was the last straw for us. Canadian family has eyes of Malaysia. Here's why. In hopes of finding a more welcoming new home, in February, the Salehs embarked on what they call a mini hijra, an Arabic word for migration, often for one's faith, to Malaysia for several months after brainstorming different options. They connected with the Southeast Asian country for several reasons: the beautiful weather, its hybrid of cultures, and the simple fact that Malaysia's official religion is Islam, and a majority 60% of its population is Muslim. While that certainly doesn't mean the country is devoid of Islamophobia or racism, and the Salehs don't have family there, they know their odds of a warm welcome are better. They plan to make their big move to Kuala Lumpur this fall. We also love the fact that living there is affordable and there is so much, including water parks, theme parks, stunning beaches, pristine malls, Sanaa says. We love the fact that there is always something to do. It's also very pro-Palestine, they add, saying it's important for them to be around other people who share their politics. In November, Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim spoke out in favor of Palestine, announcing that all Malaysians should unanimously back the country. He's been a staunch supporter, going back to his 20s. Historically, Malaysia's support for Palestine has been bipartisan. The Salehs' hope, they say, is to raise their children, Aminah, 9, Zainab, 7, and Yusuf, 1, and watch them grow up in a more compassionate community, where they aren't a minority. Experiencing hate at some point in their life won't just be a given, they hope. The Saleh family on YouTube, 1.3 M subscribers, nearly 1 B views. The Salehs are well-known YouTubers, amassing 1.3 million subscribers, who frequently vlog about their day-to-day lives. When, in December, they published a video sharing their decision to move and why, the post quickly accumulated thousands of comments and views. 4 months in, that video has 771,000 views and 12,400 comments. Their 414 videos on the platform have garnered more than 920 million views, cumulatively. While many were in support and understanding of their choice, there was, and still is, an incredible number of abusive comments telling the family to never come back, good riddance, and take your people with you. While some might say that's just a few bad apples, if you ask the Salehs, it's par for the course living in Canada. Those claims of Canadians being the nicest people in the world? That's not the reception everyone is privileged enough to experience. Sanaa and Saleh were born and raised in Okanagan, British Columbia, and moved to Toronto in 2019. Will had a gig as an engineer in the aviation industry, but was let go, along with many colleagues, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit. That's when the pair decided to give content creation a go, quickly becoming popular YouTubers, a rare feat for a Muslim family on the platform. It helped, too, that they felt more at home in Ontario than in BC, particularly with more ethnic and halal food options, more people who looked like Sanaa and their children, Will, a Canadian with a European background, converted to Islam, and who shared their culture. But eventually, they felt out of place and more like strangers. Islamophobia on the rise in Canada, 1,300% more hate incidents. According to the National Council of Canadian Muslims, there has been a staggering 1,300% rise in hate incidents since October 7, when the conflict began, with most happening in densely populated areas in Ontario, Alberta, and Quebec. A Senate report released in November, the first of its kind, found that Muslim women have become the primary targets when it comes to violence and intimidation because they are easy to recognize thanks to their traditional clothing, which might include a hijab, for example. Many have been scared to leave their homes, go to work, school, or the grocery store. As per the 2023 Senate report, Muslims in Canada feel like they are enduring an onslaught. The mental effect of steady trepidation and watchfulness is a significant weight. Overcomers of savage Islamophobia live with the injury of their immediate experience, while endless others live with vicarious injury welcomed on by legitimized dread that their networks are undependable. It proceeds to call for earnest activity to switch the disturbing direction of Islamophobia in Canada. The Salehs, is it farewell for eternity? In any case, the Salehs' recommendation to future settlers' expectation on building a daily existence in Canada is to attempt before you purchase. Will make sense of, we would agree to offer it a chance prior to focusing on it. We realize many individuals are moving to Canada and thinking twice about it in light of the fact that the cost for many everyday items has soared, and it's presently not livable or a helpful spot to be, just like it used to be. At the point when we moved to Ontario, we didn't have a clue about a solitary individual in the territory, Sanaa reviews. We needed to begin without any preparation, making companions and partners. With respect to whether they'd at any point returned? The Salehs keep it basic, we buy and don't see ourselves having a future in Canada any longer.